These moves are illegal in the UFC, but why are they illegal? It seems the only way to get that answer is gonna be to try them out.
All right, here we go. All right, let's
go. And what better way to test out these illegal moves than to go to a UFC fighter's gym?
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Who probably, honestly, I don't think has it in him to do illegal stuff. Probably not, right? Yeah. I've got 9 illegal moves down. I've got 4 names on pieces of paper.
Stephen WB.
Whoever's name gets drawn gets to do the illegal move to me.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Eyes.
Eyes. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the eye poke.
Let's go.
We're gonna test how good you would actually be
at poking you in the eye.
Yes. I feel like this is more eye-shaped if I put it like this.
I'm afraid I'm gonna stick my finger in your nose, what I'm afraid of.
Is that legal?
For these techniques, we'll test these out in the cage. Some of them will even test the power. And lastly, we'll have an expert talk about the damages done.
First test. Eye poke.
First test. Take 1.
Go. That might be one. That's definitely one.
You get it? Okay. I maybe once or twice. That's harder than you think. I feel for me to actually poke in the eye, it'd have to be almost deliberate.
Yeah, right.
Like I was really trying to poke you in the eye. Easier said than done for sure. I touched him there. And then all that big thing. I would say it's not that hard.
Not that hard. Okay.
Not that hard to get a good eye poke in. Yeah. And if they allow the fight to keep going, I know that your vision will be faulted. And with the eye poke, psychologically, it'll affect you.
Now I'm thinking about it.
But what happens when you get poked in the eye? See, I'm no doctor, and Steven's kind of a reverse doctor if you think about it. So I brought in Dr. Chris to help us better understand.
Seth, in general, an eye poke is a quite dangerous technique. Structures that may be injured include the cornea, the globe itself, the retina, the eyelid, or the eyebrow. The cornea in particular is quite sensitive and can cause significant pain and result in a transient inability to keep the eye open. Several injuries such as corneal laceration, a globe rupture, or retinal detachment may result in significant permanent vision loss if not treated appropriately.
How cool on a scale of 1 to 10 do you think I look with these glasses?
You look like Lloyd Christmas. Wonderboy! Yeah, doing it again.
The 12 to 6
elbow.
6. Okay. You're gonna have to. You're gonna elbow me in the head.
Okay. Where do you want me to do that?
On the pad.
No.
In case you didn't know what the 12 to 6 elbow was, it's pretty simple. You can elbow like this, but you can't elbow like this for some reason.
Ready to go.
This is actually pretty dangerous.
No.
I mean, not as hard as I can, but
you got me right in that ear.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. Oh, God. I felt that one. I'm sorry, dude. Dang.
Dude, they actually. You got me right here.
Good, bro. Is your elbow okay? Zero padding. No, I hope your head.
No,
I know it didn't hurt your head. Now, this is thinking an MMA fighter and trying to keep good position.
Sure.
I'm tighter. When I start reaching up, gives you a way out.
Yeah.
Which one you felt was harder?
Definitely the 12 to 6.
Okay. Yeah,
it definitely cracked into my noggin a bit more.
I'm sorry, Sensei Seth.
But which of the two is more powerful? Well, for that, we'll go to the power cube.
Grab a hold of the rope. Grab a hold of the rope.
You're gonna test the normal, typical legal elbow, and then you're gonna bring in the 12-6.
Bring in the thunder.
All right, here we go. 13. 19. With this one, you are hitting with more surface area.
Yeah.
That same amount of power, or even a little bit more, with just that little tip concentrated to this little point here, either I'm going to hurt myself or I'm going to smash their skull. 31. Wow.
37.
26. 137 more.
36. So definitely higher. Higher on everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's 12 to 6 was higher. I'm really interested to know, is there actually a possibility of cracking somebody's skull with this?
In the unified rules of mixed martial arts, blows to the back of the head and 12 to 6 elbow strikes are disallowed due to their potential danger to the fighter receiving the blow. A blow to the back of the skull could cause a skull fracture to the occiput, or the back of the skull. This is particularly dangerous because of the possibility of leaks of cerebrospinal fluid from a basal skull fracture. Any leakage of fluid out of the skull means that there is a pathway for bacteria directly into the skull. Basal skull fractures can be associated with meningitis, cranial nerve injuries, intracranial bleeding, and even death.
Me!
Okay. And pick which one.
Growing kick, growing kick, growing kick.
Fish hook and oil check. Good thing I got the biggest hands in here.
If you didn't know what a fish hook or an oil check was, they're two different things, but they both involve putting your finger in a place to gain position.
For obvious reasons. I guess we could test the power of it.
How do you test it like that?
Apart from being just plain gross, oil checking is another opportunity to cause soft tissue injury. It can also cause injury to the skin around the anus, the anal sphincter, or the lining of the rectum. These injuries can quite literally be a pain in the ass. Anal fissures, hemorrhoids can result, and fecal incontinence from permanent sphincter damage is a real bummer. Fish hooking can cause significant lacerations that run from the involved orifice somewhere into the adjacent tissue. And while I love the Dark Knight movie, no one wants to look like Heath Ledger's Joker after a fight.
Yeah, so looking back, glad I didn't do that one.
Kevin!
Kevin!
Let's go! Okay, Kevin gets to beat me up. Woo! And in what way? Grabbing clothes or the cage.
Oh.
So I'll like try and take you down, and whenever you want, you can grab the cage.
See, there's a rule of no grabbing the cage because it makes it incredibly difficult to take somebody down. And there's a bit of a size discrepancy here, right? We'll see how it goes.
Go. Come on.
Nice, nice, hold it. Oh, I love the takedown. Ah! Yeah. He's about to take you down off that cage.
This should be illegal.
It's gotta be. It's illegal.
Like you can use them to prop yourself up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You can use it to sit up.
Right.
But you can't use it to grab.
To grab.
You think it's dangerous, maybe?
You see in the UFC, guys get their fingers caught or even toes caught and they break. Being here in this situation, you know, it does. You want to grab a hold of it. Like instinctively, you want to kind of just grab hold of it and try and pull yourself up. You always see refs doing this. All right, get your hands off the cage, get your hands off the cage, slapping the hands.
Yeah, right.
I mean, seeing how easy it was for Kevin to not get taken down, it makes sense that's a rule.
WB!
Yeah. Growing shot.
All right, so you can just go from like here down. You can kick legs. This way, I don't.
I'm excited.
Don't kick. Okay, I bet you are. All right, you're first.
Oh! You got it good.
So before we do this, I guess let's figure out what the repercussions of getting kicked in the groin are.
Nobody wants to get kicked in the nuts. Apart from the possibility of testicular rupture, yes, that is a thing. This is normally accompanied by a delayed sensation of nausea and pain emanating from the pit of your stomach. Not because this is where they end up after being kicked, but rather because your testes normally develop within your abdomen and then descend during the late stages of pregnancy or early after birth. So the innervation is derived from the abdominal cavity. Interestingly, the right testes is injured more often than the left one because of its greater propensity to be trapped against the pubis or inner thigh. Without appropriate treatment and prompt surgical repair, this type of injury could result in a loss of the testicle.
All right, now you know that. I don't know it yet, which is the only reason I'm still doing it.
We started off with just a round of seeing how likely Steven is to be able to kick me in the groin. And there was quite a few times that he hit me, but none of them that I was doubled over in pain or couldn't fight through, so we didn't stop yet. Then, after, I don't know, a minute of this, we added 2 extra groin goblins to just get different angles, I guess.
You now knows it's coming.
It's not enough pain.
And then, to be frank, I don't really know how to explain the next part.
You guys have balls of steel, bro.
Maybe that is the case, but all I knew, nothing was working.
It hasn't hurt. Somebody might just have to give me good ones.
See, that's the thing, especially with a cup on. It really depends on. When I've been hit, I felt it a little bit. Your adrenaline's going.
Yeah.
Your adrenaline's going in a fight.
Sure.
So I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's shake it off.
And maybe that is the case. Maybe my adrenaline from being attacked by 3 noodles to my noodle is saving me, I guess.
No, not that hard. What is wrong with you? I think it's the noodle. What?
What if you lay like this?
I've taken so much trauma from my. No.
I mean, it's
That's
there.
the thing.
I feel it.
Yeah. If I'm gonna kick you,
Yeah.
it's my heavy foot pinching.
And the face. Sorry, dude.
I can still fight through that. That sucks though. That hurts.
Dude, that makes me hurt. I can't say it.
That hurts.
Oh yeah, you gotta move.
And if you're mid-fight though, and you have a cup,
and your adrenaline's going,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is harder than you think to just hit
0 out of
someone
10.
with
How
balls.
painful is it?
6.5. It feels like if somebody took like a hook and grabbed one of your organs and then was starting to pull it across the other side.
Yeah.
Wow,
Like
that's
part.
like a good.
Which
amount.
just kind of makes me realize how crazy it is that doctors know so much. That's pretty much exactly what Dr. Chris said.
So the last one is biting. So I guess
Tony's
I'll
chomper,
wrestle you, and at some point we'll see if it stops the takedown.
to the cage.
Do I really need to explain what biting is? I shouldn't have to, right?
Dude.
Are your teeth okay?
Yeah.
Was it hard, Tony? Was it hard to bite down?
No.
It starts to hurt now. Is that a good one?
That's a good one.
Oh wow, dang. Oh, wow.
I could have gone
Harder?
a lot harder.
Yeah, for sure.
But it got to the point to where I was like, I'm gonna bite a chunk out of this guy.
Biting is problematic for both immediate and secondary reasons. First is the obvious fact that anytime you are bitten, you are directly damaging tissue at the point of injury. The masseter muscles that move the jaws are quite powerful and can generate significant force, which allows the teeth to cause serious injury. If you're lucky, the skin will not be broken and you'll only suffer a crush injury where you were bitten. The skin will be bruised, as will the muscle tissue underneath, as a result of injury to blood vessels. However, if you are unlucky, such as with Evander Holyfield, skin and the tissue underneath will be torn and sometimes even completely separated from your opponent.
I'm gonna bite a chunk out of this guy.
But the secondary problem, while less gruesome initially, is even more dangerous. The human mouth is extremely dirty with a very high load of bacteria present. Anytime a bite breaks the skin, there is an excellent opportunity for bacteria to enter the body through the wound and to initiate infection at the site of injury.
Overall, I think it's pretty easy to say why a lot of these moves are illegal. They're pretty horrible. Some of them just deal too much damage to make them repeatable and not affect the livelihood of the fighters. Some of them give very obvious tactical advantages. And then some of them we just don't want to see. Anyway, to say thank you for all the awesome help they've given us, please make sure you subscribe to Dr. Chris, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and his brother Sweet Tea, and Kevin Lee. Also a friendly reminder, remember your cups.